Okay, checking the gate, seeing everything's good to go. And we are maybe, sorta, YouTube. I
I
hate
got I
this
got pew
part.
pew. There's a pew pew.
There you go. We're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to another Jedi Academy here on Reality Skewed Gamers, the show where we do nothing but answer your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes questions and have some fun doing it. I'm your man and host, Ranger J 1999, coming in at you, and I'm immediately getting some feedback here a little bit on YouTube. Okay, we're good. I was looking at something like, wait, don't be going cray cray on me. But this is this is the Q&A show where we hang out with you awesome and amazing folks. And this is a straight Q&A show. Our whole purpose here is to answer your questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Games. And it's the format is to bring content creators on as many as that want to be on. And you guys ask questions and we try to give you the best answer or our insights. And you take it with it, whatever you need. So that's the whole purpose of this. So it's, as I said, it's a Q&A show. And the way it works is if you have a question you want to pose to myself or the panel or all of us, all you need to do is put your question into the chat. When you do, make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement so that we can identify it as a question. I use Nightbot as a filtering tool, and we use a filtering word, and the word is question. And why is my internet being wonky now? I know we have Snowmageddon going on right now, but hold on. Let me look at something here. It does it one more time. I'm going to the backup. I'm going to the backup, man. I got the backup internet there, boy. All right, no, let's do it again. Screw that. I'll be right. There we go. Should be back up and running. There we go. Cool. All right. I'm not playing games today, there, Aldous. Speaking of Aldous, look who it is, folks. It's Aldous from the Sandfly from the beach.
Hey everyone, I want lots of questions today. Super excited for questions, and I want exciting questions. I was telling everybody on the stream this morning I want special, interesting questions today. But yeah,
Yes.
welcome. Yeah.
Glad to
Hi
have you
everyone.
here. Yeah,
100%.
yeah, I'm glad you're doing well. And hello to everybody in the chat. Glad to have you guys here. So get your questions in. I mean, we always open up Aldous with what's new this week in Slug. Of course, last night I was on the Gridsy Heinze session. And of course, the big news is the Mace rework. And I've talked ad nauseum about this, and yes, I did know about it. That was the one thing I did know that was going to be happening. What I didn't know is if they're going to drop anything else. They didn't really say anything big besides that. Which sometimes they do drop multiple things when I do stuff like that with Crumb and Doja. Sometimes they wanted to focus on the Mace rework, and then they had Miller on as well, who's doing a phenomenal job over there with these new characters and reworks and things of that nature. But that being said, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the kit.
Yep.
Your thoughts on the Mace rework, and when you first looked at
Um,
it, what do you think?
I look, it looks good. My only look, I thought it was good. I think it's long overdue. He is a character who, unless they're going to launch another version of him, he needed some sort of rework because he is very important. Um, I thought it was a nice way to do it for Rambam and for how he's championed that cause, but it's not all about one person. Everybody else, I think the only thing I said this morning, I would love them to bring balance to the Force. Did we need a Galactic Republic Jedi reworked? Probably not. Of all the factions, this period in the game with GMK and Padme, I'm not sure. It was nice to get. So it's like I view it as an extra thing, but like I said to you before we went live, a rework is like a free thing, like an absolutely free thing. Everyone gets it for free. We might even get mats back. I think they're going to refund some of it. I'm not sure what they'll what they'll refund, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I think it's good. I mean, it looks like it'll free up General Kenobi. It'll give a second viable tank or another viable tank onto that team. I think until we see it getting tested, until we see it in the wild, I think they said it was next weekend they're going to drop it.
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't see it for a while. But yeah, it kit looks good. The kit looks good, and yeah, I thought it was fine. That was good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think they did a great job with the rework. He's much better than he was. That goes without saying. How good? In my testing, he's pretty dope. But again, you never know when you go from the test portion of it, right, versus the live portion, and then you guys get your hands on it and think of stuff I can't even begin to fathom, right? I mean, so
There was an interesting comment about dropping the taunt and then re-taunting and maybe a loop and GMK. So I need to look more at that because that was something people were discussing this morning. Is
sure,
like how the taunt gets applied and things like that. But like I say, I think I think until we see it in the wild, I don't think it'll change a lot because I think you're currently potentially putting GK in that position if you've got the GMK team. So I think it's good. It puts more utility in the game. But and I'd love them to do it to a Sith now, or somebody on the dark side, give one of them a bump.
All right. So I'm sure we're gonna get more questions about Mace. Just prepare yourself. We're gonna get some more questions about it.
Okay. Also, we have the Omicron on the lovely Wampa or Wampus.
Yeah, it seems like it's performing pretty well out there.
It seems like it's performing better than maybe I took from last week's discussion. So
yeah, doing a little bit better.
It's doing a bit better. It's soloing a few teams. It's certainly working well. So I think that's a valuable new Omicron. So exactly where that sits. I certainly think any character that can get a solo, especially against some of the teams I've seen it solo in GG and Mon Mothma. Well, I've seen it solo. Well, it was C, but who puts C on defense? But yeah, so yeah, I think that's also a really exciting thing. I love it when you get that new, especially in this world of so many teams. You have that any character that can do a solo really gets you high banners, saves you characters, saves your team.
It's nice.
It gives some nice variety as well. I love that. I also, what was the other thing? There was a little bit of a spoiler I saw from Crumb last night. We are getting the road ahead next week. Penciled in was what he said. It's planned for next week. So that's a lot closer than it is planned from them. It is planned for next week.
Yeah.
Whether it drops or not, we don't know.
Well, I hope it drops, right? But if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So
yeah, then it'll be quickly the week after.
Yeah,
I presume it's a final approval of wording stage. I'm sure.
Sure, and so we'll wait and see. We'll wait on bated breath on if it's going to come or not. So, all right, guys, get your questions in, get your comments in, get all that stuff in. We're going to start with the questions here. We'll get things going. I don't know how many content creators, I mean, a lot of them were on the were up late last night. I mean, I have had no sleep, guys. So if I sound a little groggy and stuff, just because when we got done with the Behind You stream, we actually went to the server and answering questions from folks and stuff like that. Just hanging out. Like I always do. You guys know I'm very accessible and try to be accessible, like a lot of the content creators, just to get feedback and answer some questions. And then I watched Lego do his GAC, which is a phenomenal fight. It was a top 10 fight in the world. Kyber won, and it was. Poor guy tied like I did, and it broke my heart because I'm like, I just literally tied, bro. I mean, I understand your pain, dude, because the other person he was facing had more GP, and so it's just like, but I'd rather lose by a lot than tie because, damn, that's just heartbreaking. You go in there, and he almost pulled that off, man. It was a hell of a run he had, so it was exciting to watch that, and so... but yeah, get your questions in. Just as a schedule thing before we start getting the questions real quick. Right after this, I'll do my GAC. And of course, everybody that's a content creator on the stream is allowed to hang out, or invited to hang out. I allow them to hang out. Shut up, Ranger. We'll hang out and we'll have some fun doing GAC, and then I'll do some pimp his stuff. And did you do your GAC already last night?
Yeah, we did it this morning. We got the full clear and we won.
Nicely done, sir. Yes, nicely done.
Our opponent dropped many battles across our defense, and we had the TIE Interceptor. Is that right? We had the new TIE Fighter at 5-star. We used that this morning.
Okay, so you unlocked that before GAC, so you're able to use that. How are you feeling about the TIE Interceptor? I tell people it's a dope ass shit, man. People didn't want to listen to me, man. It's a nice reinforcement, man. That thing comes off the bench.
So I don't want to self promote, but we did
no
that
self promote, man. That's the point of this.
So my second sister is only 3-star. Like, so this was a tier 4, I think, on it.
Sure.
So it was very, very low on her. So it's kind of similar to what everyone that has the second sister that's not bought anything. And the ship is only 5-star. We had it on the bench. We ran the standard Empire, Darth Vader, the TIE Bomber, and TFP. I think we ran at the start. And then we ran it against Negotiator, a Relic 8 or 9 Negotiator.
Okay.
We did lose. We lost the coin flip, and they wiped Vader at the start. But then the TIE Bomber, then we brought in the new ship as the first reinforcement. And then we brought in EP. So, but it was, we got down to only 3 ships left with very, very little.
And that's what and that's what the shipping at the status that it is. Okay, gotcha.
We put a huge dent in that fleet. So I guess anyone who's actually wanting to see it in the wild against a genuine kind of matchup at a level, I guess a lot of people might have it. Go check out my stream on Welcome to Sandflies this morning.
Yeah,
it'll obviously be the last battle, so check that out if you really want to see it. You can watch the whole battle.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah. I like watching it when it fails as much as when it succeeds. You can see it when it looks like it
gives you some idea. Yeah, I mean, and we, in our JCs, is like sometimes losing a fight really helps people out more than just winning, because you can see what not to do, or if something's not working. If we try something new, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. All right, let's get to some questions. And hello there, everybody. Hello, Plasma. Indie Play Games says, question: Happy Rambam Day. Yeah, it's Rambam. It was so amazing last night to see him just so just overjoyed and just emotional, and just sitting back just like this, watching the Mace rework. Because we've been giving him endless shit that I was, and I intentionally was saying this more and more as I knew it was getting closer. Like, as long as I live, there won't be a Mace rework. You dirty kid, I was doing all that kind of stuff on his streams and other streams, and doing everything I could to just make him have no idea what was happening. Like, it was like brother, you ain't getting a Mace rework ever. And Crumb was on it. We were on a stream once, and recently we were like, yeah, we're not doing Mace rework. Get the hell out of here. So we kind of ran dirty with that, but he's got his rework, and it's very much happy Rambam Day, and glad to have you here. Any Play Games. Plasma 1972 question: do we have to put our best mods on Mace Windows since CG made Mace great again? I'm trying to think of what I had on Mace for his modding. I don't think you have to change too much. I mean, he's still, the modding may change. You may go more offense set with more health and protection, because he is what he is. I'm still playing around with that myself. I don't have a definite answer on that, but I mean, you looked at his kit. I mean,
it's stacking his special damage. Is that right?
Yeah. So you're probably going to run offense on him, or crit damage, something along those lines.
So I think it's all about cracking and I think he has a very high special damage anyway, as far as I understand. So I think it's about modding that up so that you get more from the stacks. But I guess it depends where you put
kind of like
him.
Fennec. You do the same thing with her, right?
Yeah.
You get that big special damage going. That's what you're shooting for some of these characters, like Grandmaster Yoda. Yeah.
It depends if you're putting him with GMK, or if you're putting him with a standard Padme team without GMK, or if you're putting him in a Qui-Gon Jinn. He's got quite a lot of utility, to be honest. So he's got a lot of places he can go.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, BCM, what's going on there, Big Country Mags? Morning to you, my friend. Morning there.
Right, a dragon butt this morning.
That's right, I am dragging major butt this morning, man. Glad to have you here. The Country Vikings join us. Perfect time. We just started the questions. The engineer says, hello, Academy. Hello, engineer. Nobody cares. This question: has the hazmat team been sent to Ramvan's house specifically after last night? Great question. No, I am sure that we do not. The engineer question: just unlocked Boba Fett, son of Django. Any suggestions on how to mod him?
Yes.
Go for it, BCM.
Mod him, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, you.
I don't have
mods.
him yet. So
put him,
you go,
okay,
I
would say that. I mean, you're gonna, what kind of mods you want to put on him? I think he's a lot like Fennec in the sense that you want damage on him because he's all about the damage. Really good, decent speeds. There's two ways you can go about it because you want his turns to get out. So there's two thoughts on this: a speed set, right, with damage, or offense set with high speed secondary mods with damage, right? So you want him to take those turns and getting those rockets out. It's not so much about his damage in the sense you do want damage on him, but it's about him, like, especially if you're running Bam and you're running Fennec and others with that team, depending on which lineup you're going with, right? Whether it's Fennec lead or Hits lead, you just want those knee rockets and those rockets just blasting away and dotting and doing all that stuff, right? So that you can get those whistling birds and those kind of things out there. When I use the Lord Vader team, it's all about, I've got a speed set on him right now because it's like, take a turn, please. I need whistling birds, go faster, that kind of thing. So, but I don't have any problem with either or, as long as you got good speed. I mean, he's not a very fast character, so do the best you can. But if you can get him taking his turn sooner rather than later and quick, but I like damage on him too. So I wouldn't, you want those rockets, especially when he starts ramping up, to do some major hitting, when he's doing his thing. So yeah, there's a couple ways you can go about doing it. I still haven't settled on one or the other yet, and I'm still kind of playing around with it. So I'll let you know when I get a chance to dick around with it more. So with these guys, let's see here. Okay, Yuta question, has anyone checked on Rambam to make sure he is alive? Yes, I think he's still alive. Last what we heard.
I think he's still drinking.
Yeah, boy.
He is still celebrating.
Oh, I know. It was so much. Last night was a blast. It was a blast, man. I love doing the Heinz Grid session. It's so much fun, man. I laughed so hard last night, some of the stuff that went on. A lot of shenanigans, but it was worth it. That's why I haven't had any sleep. So, and when I do the Grizzly session, I know the Jedi Academy the next morning, I'm going to be like, oh, God, get up. Oh, God. It's early in the morning for me. Snoochie Poochies, what's going on, buddy? He says, question, modding suggestions for Mace Rework. I currently have all health set with protection primaries on triangle, cross, circle. Yeah, we were just talking about that, right? So I guess we kind of answered that one already. So, but yes,
I'd wait until we actually see it. One thing about the release last night was it seemed to be sort of a self-prepared PowerPoint slide from Heinze. Mm-hmm. So we've got to make sure, I guess, that the final wording is exactly that. I haven't seen an official post from CG on the forums yet with the actual, the formal, the way the kit normally looks. So
I don't think we will until like Monday.
Yeah, okay. Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, we'll get the official.
That would be my, I think wait until you see that. Wait until you see. Just check to make sure everything was as everybody understood it. It was a party atmosphere, I would have said last night. Yeah. And they did a great job covering it, but I wouldn't start remodding today. We're not going to get the rework until next Saturday, so I'd wait until
it'll be next week. Yeah,
and there could also be. We're also, like we said, we might get the road ahead potentially next week. So by the time it comes to you getting the Mace Rework, there might be another character or two to look at. There might be a new thing direction. So, yeah, I'm going to remod him next Saturday.
There you go. All right. Dr. Filger says, good job last night, Ranger. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciate that. Will Phil says, unless Samuel Jackson tweets about time efforts or work don't matter. The engineer, choo, my boy says, Aldous, what's with this flower shirt? Are you celebrating? No, this is what he wins, man. This is what he wears. He said he always we be visiting the island with Aldous.
I had to up the shirt because every time SB Crumb does a presentation, I need to do an even louder shirt just to be sure.
He likes his loud shirts, man. They're fantastic. He likes loud shirts,
yeah.
They really are.
Yeah, we're celebrating. We got one this morning in JC, and we've got a good, nice free rework. So it's it's a good one.
There you go. Nice. Congrats.
Let's see here. Next question. Oh, here's a great one. Snake 1594 question. If we don't have JMK, what team can we use Mace in? Oh, quite a few, man. Padme, Qui-Gon
Jedi
Jinn.
Team.
Yeah, they're all really good.
Oh, he might go really well on a Padme squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he's a utility Jedi, so there is
Yeah.
loads of utility Jedi type teams
You
out
can put
there
on Jedi
where
Revan now. I mean, you could
Yep.
use them there. I mean,
Oh,
this
yeah.
you know, there's
Yeah.
there's some good, a lot of possibilities you can use them with.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're probably in today's probably not GML. Well, if you don't have GMK, you might not have GML because you might not be that level, but GML you'll work on there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think. But like I say, this game is. I was talking about it this morning. This game is heavily Jedi weighted. There's too many Jedi and there's not enough Sith. And therefore, anytime they launch a new Jedi or they do a rework to a Jedi, there is so many combinations of new leaders, new teams, new comps you can put together,
Mm-hmm.
and interactions. It must be a nightmare for anyone to ever test. But yeah, it's a good. Yeah,
It's a
there's
good problem to
thousands
have.
thousands of places to build them. So yeah,
Which is so funny because a couple years ago that wasn't the case.
No.
yeah. But
Yeah.
they've gone very Jedi heavy.
Oh,
Um,
All right. Next question. Let's see here. Hi, Pelby1. The engineer question. I had my opponent in GSC who put only fleets defense like AP. Chalky milk turkey. Says, I one-shot his fleets and my Maul and C teams held him back. What's with this strategy? Does it work in Kyber too? Not so much. At lower divisions, you can get away with this, right? Especially if they don't
Yeah.
have fleets. But you start getting into higher levels, that stuff's not going to fly. You don't want to give your points free points because they're going to have. So the strategy is they don't have good fleets. You can just keep them from you keep them from beating your fleets, and then you go in, beat theirs, get the points, and then
yeah, but
keep
you
all
have
your
to be
team.
perfect.
I know it is a strategy.
It's-
You keep everything for offense. You don't put anything down on defense, and except fleets, and then you go in and beat their entire board, and then you go in and beat their fleets or beat one of their fleets, and it's basically I could be jumbling this up, am I messing this up, but I think that's how it works, right? I mean, I've seen it, but I don't know it well enough.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely an interesting strategy, but it would never work at my level.
No.
it's a bit of a
In
mean
the
strategy.
in the Kyber levels, it would never work.
And it works even less now, even at lower levels with the echelon and with the
Right.
new ships out there. It was essentially working on the principle that people would be starved of ships and that there was only maybe
Right.
one or two viable counters to one or two ships out there that people might not have. Whereas now you do have two, if not three more, if you count the resistance ship. You certainly have two more viable fleets out there that can do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think it was the fact that if you had Executor, you could just put it on defense, and unless they had one, they were never going to get through it.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Beskar Bandito, what's going on, Holmes? Shogun, what's going on? Question: been building the Iden squad to have the team soloed by an Omicron overnight. Is there a troop that might prevent that solo? You mean Wampa?
Yeah, there's not much stopping the Womps.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's going to move. It's going to push Aiden now back to offense. I don't know, or you're going to have to bait out that Wampa. You're going to have to be careful of people with that. Yeah, that Wampa. Wampa is a dangerous thing to have in the wild. Doing some damage.
Well, it's not just the Iden team. It's soloing Grievous teams and doing some other things. So
I saw it solo an off counter or an off meta C team.
yeah, so you're gonna have to think. I mean, there's not much you can do with the Iden team if someone's got the Omni Wampacron. I mean, it's just I'm even using Stark in mine, but it still doesn't. It's not gonna. They can just beat your ass. They just can't.
Iden for me is a offensive powerhouse,
Yeah, I put her on defense
even at low levels.
Yeah, I'm not seeing many people that have put on the Omicron yet at my level, but the Iden team, even the best teams have counters, guys. I mean, there just is. Every team in this game has counters. Some have more counters than others. So it's a game of chess. Move, counter move. You're going back and forth. even though I'm putting on Iden on defense, it's for a purpose. I'm trying to force them to use certain teams, and she's up front to try to use something there and make someone pause and think like, okay, if I use this here, I can't use it there. So there's, when you're setting your defense, you got to take that kind of in mind because there are counters out there. I mean, and if they're going really, and I've been noticing this a lot more at my level at Kyber 1, a lot of people are just playing efficiency. They're just like, I'm not putting any GLs. I'm keeping everything. I'll put some teams down just to throw you off. But yeah, I ain't playing that game. So it's like, okay. I mean, it's just like, okay, let's rock and roll. I mean, so no matter what I put on defense, I get some holds, but they're still going to clear me.
The power of that. So, I mean, I didn't have the Omicron at lock for this GAC, but I did in my Wampa. I came up against an Iden team this morning with like R2 and R3s across the other 4. I had to gas it. I used the gas 50 first, and next week I'll just be using a single Wampa. So that's the value of that Omicron. No, I feel sorry for people because every day I was farming it to put defense Iden. She's still a monster in offense, but it's kind of like, it's like we talk about a lot, and Ranger alludes to the shifting of the meta, how it moves, and how one Omicron is kind of going. Everybody's going, okay, we can't have that in offense anymore. That's going to be on defense. So yeah, it's a very, very good. It's very, very good camp. It's a very, very good counter. Probably too good. The tenacity being 100% is just just kind of.
Because that team, like with Iden and stuff, it can do debuffs and slow womps down if it lands. Problem is, it's hard to land that stuff against the womps.
With the plus 100% tenacity, you don't even need to mod it for tenacity. Just getting it in Grand Arena. So, I mean, it's not going to work outside the Grand Arena, but inside Grand Arena, it's a menace for any Iden team or Mon Mothma team or Grievous team.
Yeah. Rogue 198 question: Mace with JMK or Starkiller Ranger? Both. He'll work very well with both teams. We've been talking about. We didn't even mention the Starkiller team, but absolutely. Yeah. I'm using GK on mine right now just because it's just the lineup I'm using. But Mace could easily slot into that Starkiller team as the Jedi as that requirement and do quite well. And I'm actually thinking about that with the rework. And I had to play around with it, and it works just as good as anything. I mean, it worked on that team before, but it's just Mace didn't really contribute anything to that team, right? Not that GK does, but GK can do some stuff that helps that team, very much with that big hit and stuff that he's very tanky and stuff. But I think Mace now could. With this new kit, I think you could add a lot to the Starkiller kit group that you're using, right? And it depends on who you're using with that team, but because some people still like Bears, but yeah, it's going to give you some play and wiggle room for that Jedi slot for the requirements for old Starkiller. But yeah, he'll work great in both. I think he's going to be very nice.
It is a TW Omicron.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it's going to change again when you get to TW versus GAC. So there is going to be quite a shift, especially when you think about Starkiller having his Omicrons for GAC, and then so there's going to be quite a lot of changes, I think. So I think Mace might move around. I think you might start seeing more of these people moving around in different game modes.
Joseph Oliver says Mace wants GR with him, so no Starkiller. Huh. Well, true. It's a good point. I didn't think about that. But I mean, in that key, everything goes differently. I have to think about that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those kits are, it depends on what you're running, though. Let me think on that one. Because even though, if he doesn't get it, it's not GR, but does he still meet the requirements for Starkiller, so he's going to get the stuff from Starkiller and stuff. With the tanking and taunting.
It's going to take some testing, but
yeah, I got to play around with this some more. That's a good point.
I think he might.
I thought he did pretty well.
Yeah, for my level, I think I'm going to put him on my Padme squad and move Shock T off to Jedi Knight Revan.
Yeah, we could do that.
Ezra's going to drop from Jedi Knight Revan.
Orlando says, "Is there a full video from Heinz interview with Crumb and Doja?" Yeah, it's on YouTube right now. No, of Heinz and Crumb's the interview with Crumb and Doja. No. But there's one of them doing the Mace with Doja and Miller. with Rambam on last night. But that was just for the Mace, right? So they just did the Mace video. When he does videos from the Grizzly session, there's a part of the Grizzly session that is just, it's serious. It's about, let's do a video, let's talk about stuff out there. And it's joyful, but jovial, but it's, it's for that purpose. The rest of it's just drunken madness. So he doesn't usually put those out there.
You can watch on Twitch at the moment. So if you go to his channel on Twitch, you can watch it. And obviously not now.
Yeah.
Or during, later on. But yeah, I was watching it for the stream actually, just watching, see if there was any added tidbits or things that they were saying inside just before that. So yeah, you can watch it there if you really want to see it.
All right. Let me see. Where are we at? Okay, sorry, I'm having technical difficulties here. What was the next question? What is it? Hold on, let me redo Nightbot here because it's being silly. Let's try this again. There we go. So the last question was Rogue 198. Darts 918. Two questions. Says, I'm over these reworks and Omicrons. Omicrons don't drop a cantina, so I could care less about Mace. We need a road ahead and game content. Well, not to worry, Darkseid. We're going to get that apparently next week. So, yeah.
SP Crumb said next week is the plan. It could be pushed back, but next week is the plan.
Yeah.
So we will get an answer to all your questions. The other thing I would say on Mace is I think we're going to get our stuff back. I don't know what level we'll get our stuff back to. Mine's obviously R3 or whatever I needed to take him to. So I guess we might even have the option to not re-relic him and use the relics elsewhere. So I think before I start piling it all back on, I might wait to see it in the wild, see how it performs. And I might look to see what else I've got, if I'm honest. It depends what I get back.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Interceptor says, "Hey Ranger, question: would having Mace on an Omicron Qui-Gon be useful or stupid on a GL counter? Thanks." I don't know if it's going to make that. I still don't think Mace is going to make the Qui-Gon team again able to take on GLs, because the problem with that is that regardless of what Mace adds, it's a GL, and two, they counteract Qui-Gon's kit now.
Yeah, it's the leadership.
Yeah, so it's not going to do anything, and Mace is just going to get. He's going to get munched. Don't do that. Yeah. All right. Ice House question: did the Mace rework intentionally reveal any other GR Jedi that will become usable? Not really. I mean, the problem with the other GR Jedi, I mean, they do have their uses, right? I mean, Ayla can be useful. Plo Koon sometimes can be useful. But their kits just aren't at the level that these newer kits are at. Yeah, they can have function, but they're not going to make... I didn't see anywhere when I was doing it, I'm like, well, Eth Koth still sucks. He's still Eth Koth. It's one of those things, like, you try, and it's like... I just, and you guys, that's just me looking at it, but I mean, you guys just on paper can see that, these other Jedi, like Amagundi and stuff. Now, Ayla can do some stuff, and I use her because her basic still plays, man. She hits hard, and she can stun, so that hasn't played. The defense for Plo Koon can play if you need it, but I mean, they're situational at best, and I don't know, I didn't get any buffing, if what you want to call it, to the other team, and I don't think you're going to either. I mean, I'm sure I missed something. I can only test so much, and I'm sure you guys, as I always say, will get your hands on it and come up with some kind of team or something that I missed completely, or maybe the testers missed. But no, I don't. BCM, I mean, all this. I mean, I don't see how those characters get any better, even with Mace being reworked.
Yeah, I mean, even with the amount of Jedi we have in the game, there's probably a good 25% of them that just their kits are so old that they're not useful anywhere.
Yeah,
and so that's why you only end up with like 2 or 3 at most Jedi squads, right?
Yeah, even though you have a buttload of Jedi.
Yeah,
I think the only thing to watch out for is obviously he has the shatter point mechanic.
Yeah.
That's something that nobody else really has, in inverted commas. So there could quite easily be another character come with a shatter point, and I think that's the point where you might see it maybe move to another level. I don't know what. I guess in all of the interview, I didn't see them really talk about anywhere where they see Mace now, as far as talk about it in hierarchy or. Like they didn't say, "Oh God, we see this at the level of Maul, or we see this at the level of GK, or something." So I didn't. I got the impression it was just at the level, not just at the level of the normal GK. So I see him very much as a GK replacement, but I don't think it's going to bring in. Also, it's quite a simple kit. Well, it's got an isolated kit on its own because it's using the shatter point, all that mechanic. It's not like it's putting a load of debuffs on other people or doing crazy stuff. So I don't think there's a lot of. I don't think there'll be something that people missed with this. If I'm honest.
I mean, looking at it, it looks like the shatter point's going to be like a reverse mark for Grievous's random mark mechanic. So instead of marking your own team, you're marking the other team, and you can avoid taunts by having to go. It'll be like a death mark or
Jedi Revan's mark
a
ability.
random taunt. Yeah. That's the way I read the kit when I read it and was listening to it. It's just that random reverse mechanic.
All right.
I mean, that could help. It's like Spy coming in for ships. It's like, oh, pick the right one.
Let's see here. Navju Jokun, what's going on, buddy? Says question: what's the best way to two-shot the Executor with the Mace burner fleet? Things like, what are the goals of the burner? Do you still need the TIE fighter with Malevolence? I'll have these two check my math here, but the burner team is just 3 ships. Go with your 3 weekends. I always put like Wedge, Sith fighter, and I like Jedi Counselor. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the Executor to use his AoE, and you're trying to get, at best, you want Boba Fett to come in off the bench as the first reinforcement, and then use his mind to use that ability, and then you burn those 2 things plus all the other initial attacks from the other ships, right? Razor Crest's double attack and all that other stuff. You're trying to get as much of that burned off as possible. And yes, you do need the TIE Interceptor with the. I mean, you don't have to have it, but it makes a significant difference with your chances of winning, which is still not guaranteed, but it's much better because of those dodges ramping up the Malevolence, and to get you into your when you're using the Malevolence counter. So yeah, it's important to have. What the goal of the burner team is to burn all those first initial hits and then get Boba Fett to come in at the best and do his mine. And then the second thing is, yeah, you definitely need TIE Fighter with Malevolence. Unless I'm missing something here. BCM, I'll just keep me correct, buddy, because my brain's not functioning right now.
No, that sounds about right. Yeah, the burner fleet's job, just like any burner team for like GLs and stuff, is you're trying to get the AoEs out of there. You're trying to get them on cooldown, so it gives you a head start.
I never do the burner. Never have, never will.
That's okay.
I prefer to go the it's probably a tactical mistake on my end.
No, because some people go Malevolence if they've got the fleet and the characters. They just go right in with the Malevolence.
I've been going straight Malevolence. Obviously now we do have the Echelon coming on board as well. So whenever we find out where that's farmable, that'll start to be a second counter. But yeah. Yeah, you're right on the burner. I prefer maybe the Holdo burner to push for the destroying the capital ship. I know that's not technically a burner, it's more of a, an actual counter. But yeah, depends what the rest of your ships are.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Hellenix. Oh boy, here we go. I just saw Hellenix there. It's like, oh boy, hold on to your meat and potatoes, boy. Here we go. Good
morning, Hallie.
Good morning to our favorite Greek freak. All right, here we go. Question for the panel. All right, it's a panel question. Oh, no, never mind. They're going to, there are individual ones in here as well. God help us. Is this question for the panel? At Kyber 3 with 7 million GP and 1 GL Kenobi, what team do you guys think Mace will be used on? GL Kenobi, Jedi Knight Luke, Padme Squad? I can't think of where he'd work best. All those.
Yeah, and like Hallie's in Kyber 3 with sounds like with me. So yeah, I'd be putting him on my Padme Squad.
Yeah, that'd be a nice one, right? GL Kenobi could be good. Hell, JML could be good with
JML could be good, yeah.
Absolutely, man.
It depends on your opponent and what they use.
And what you got too,
Yeah.
And what you want to do. If you can put the GLK, Padme, Kitty Cat, and Mace, then I'd put them there. And block your opponent. But if they know a counter to that, or they have a good counter to that, then there's no point. Yeah. I'd probably put Mace with Padme somewhere.
Right. I think that's what's making the game so exciting now is these options of what your team, or that you're trying to decide what your opponent's going to do, and then what team will counteract that, or give them a trip up. Something they haven't seen before.
Yeah. So it is making it, using more of our rosters now and making that count and mean something is nice. Look who it is, everybody. It's the world famous Kate Gaming. Huzzah!
I could get off mute. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Kate. How are you?
Good morning.
Good. Just having my tea.
Yeah, we're having our coffee. Al's just having his beer because it's in the afternoon in the island.
Afternoon, yeah.
AB in the island chilling. All right. Well, Kate, we're just answering questions. We're right in the meat and potatoes. You came at a perfect time because Helenix has already asked all his questions, so he didn't see you on there before. He did his spam of questions, so you will miss that. Did you see the Mace Rework there, Kate? Gaming?
I did. I happened to tune in. I had some pretty good timing. I tuned in to Heinz's stream, I think not even 5 minutes before they announced it. So I had some really good timing there.
Yeah. What'd you think?
It's long overdue.
Yeah.
So I was glad to see Ram's reaction was hilarious. And it's understandable because it's Ram.
Yeah.
But it's so overdue. I know so many people are just I don't know. It's weird. I see people pissed off about it. And I'm like, you do understand that Mace was very high up there on the Jedi High Council. There was no excuse for him to be as crappy as he was in our game and have Jedi who never even received any formal training be better than him. Yeah. There was no excuse. So
yeah,
just my 2 cents into it.
That's all right. That's what we want. Your 2 cents. All right. That being said, go ahead, BCM.
I think people were just the people that are upset that Mace got a rework are taking the Ram Bam meme too far.
Yeah.
We all said, we're gonna quit if he gets a rework. He should get on me, right? But we're never gonna do that. That's just there's no reason to be upset.
It was just because it poked at Ram and his reactions were funny. Yeah. We weren't serious, but there's people who were serious that I saw, and I'm like, okay.
Well, yeah, for me, and I've known about it for a long time now. The reason I was giving Ram a hard time, but even more just because I was throwing him off. I was intentionally doing what I was saying, he's never going to get a rework, not while I'm breathing, that's kind of thing, so that he had no idea what was coming, so, but yeah, so there you go.
I'm only upset because now what do we give Ram crap about?
His gameplay, JTR,
his account,
yeah,
in general.
Although ever since
he's got the R9 Mace now, he's gonna kick our butt.
No, he will not. Trust me, he'll mess it up.
I'm curious to see how it's gonna perform now. I'm curious.
My initial testing, he's pretty good. But I'll let the people get their hands on it and come up with even more creative stuff and ways to use them than I can ever think of, man. I'm a lot of things, but not the most creative.
Not one of them.
Well, I am a theory crafter, but my thing when I'm testing is does this thing work? Does it work against the main stuff, right? Because there's only so many battles I'm going to do with testing. I've got I could test more, but after a while, after about 30 fights, I'm like, yeah, I got the good gist of this right now. I've tested against what I think, I want to test it on, but, you get burned out a little bit too.
At no point do you ever get to what would happen under a Stormtroop hand lead at R9.
No, I'm not really thinking about that. Yeah.
So there are always that. That's the problem. And we talked earlier on about there's so many Jedi in the game, so many Galactic Republic. They're all synergizing with each other. There's no way to test that permutations. But it doesn't look breaking to me. It looks perfectly fine. Yeah. It just looks like a nice, solid rework, kind of out on its own little world, and it's going to be good.
Did you test them with Doc and Zombie?
No. Durgan says, I guess making fun of Ram just flew out the window. God. Ba-dum-bum. All right, back to Helly's questions. He says, question for Ranger. Will you forever more praising Random for all his persistence, perseverance, and pestering of CG? Without his hard work over the past few years, we never have gotten said rework. No, he had nothing to do with it, man. I ain't gonna give him any credit, man. No, hell no. No!
Does this mean
No.
doesn't Ram have to now change his in-game name because they
Yeah.
did fix Mace?
That's true.
Maybe Mace is great again.
Yeah.
He has that. Change it to it.
It
Mace
is, not
great
make.
again.
Yeah.
That
It is great.
Yeah,
Make
that's
it
true.
is.
I changed it to make the endurance relevant again or useful. You know, I just think you still got a capital ship that doesn't work very well, so we're still halfway there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna make fun of Ram because it's like he's like that kid that just sits there and just stomps his feet until you give him a piece of candy, and then he's all nice. So that's why I kind of look at what happened with the Mace Rework. CG finally had to give him the candy. They wore him down, but. Question for the Viking. Here you go from Helly. Here's your question, BCM. Oh boy. It says, I borrowed your hammer. God, Thor's hammer, and I use this power to win 8 GC rounds in a row. Being that I suck at SWGOH, do you think this is a sign of the end times?
No, and it's Modliner. It's not Mjolnir.
Mew, mew, mew.
It's not Meow Meow.
Mew, mew.
No, I don't think that's a sign of things that's come. I think it's a sign of things are evening out.
Let's see.
Because I mean, I'm still going 2-1, but I have a feeling this is going to be my 1-2 week.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, even the best of us, you can look at the GA Center. I mean, you're going to have that week, man. I mean, even at any level, it can happen.
Last week, most of us went 1 and 2. I think.
Yeah,
it was a lot of 0-3s, man.
Yeah.
There was a lot of 0-3s, and it was shocking, but not so much shocking. You look at the level of competition that they're facing. I mean, it just
right. But we are 3 months in now, and you know that was kind of the guesstimate of when GAC was going to start to even out as far as skill based, because. I mean, although that being said, I'm still running into people that, you know, I'll comment and they're like, what's GG? How do you know I was going to put that on defense? It's like, okay, people are still not doing at least the slightest bit of research to see who's there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you playing against me, BCM?
I used to do none. I used to do none.
Oh, I mean, I guess
That changed.
some of us tryhards have been doing it
Still do
since GAC started, and it was an available option. But
Well,
once I started getting out GL at LGP, it is when I was like, okay, I should probably figure out what I should do with my GL.
yeah, I guess I'm one of those tryhards. I guess that's why I'm in Kyber 3 at 5.8 mil, 2 GLs now. But still, it was one of those. I was going 12 and O's in the old style, so
yeah.
I mean.
Well, I'll say this still. I did ask the question last night mainly because I was trying to deflect all attention for what was coming. I asked them about, and I don't remember the answer because I was trying to scoop up every question, but I did bring to their attention on the stream that at the top tier we're seeing it's starting to even out. The GP and stuff. I mean, yeah, you still get those mismatches here and there, but it's not as prevalent as you starting to see in the mid tier and the lower tier, where those people that are dropping that have a lot of GP. It's starting to have some effects on some of the lower players where they're kind of getting blocked, because even if the person with that much GP difference, I mean, if the other person tries,
I just went against a 7.6 mil, something ridiculous, and they had 4 GLs, and I'm like, how did this happen?
Oh yeah, no,
there's
this isn't happening. I'm done.
I ran
this
into
round.
a 7.5 in one of my brackets with 5 GLs. And it's like, oh great. No mods, but they got their account was a little bit ahead of them. But even then, I saw I saw a post on Facebook. A guy was talking. He's in bronzium or carbonite. He's in one of the way low divisions, and he doesn't have a GL. He's at 1.2 million, and he's ran into one of these 7.5 million accounts that have 5 GLs, and it's that's a 6 million difference.
Yeah,
That's rough.
now it's there's a reason why that person's there at 7.5.
Oh, yeah.
million. But
But
even if they get the auto deployed, that person ain't beating that account, right?
no,
Because
yeah,
they
that's
just don't have the tools to do it. And I think it's something that they need to kind of tweak and look at a little bit. So,
I have a question for the panel. In relation to GAC Centre, how much are we all going to bomb our rating down so that we start the next season off with 4 or 5 cheap wins and end up at the top of the table? How do you feel, Kate, BCM? I mean, I'll be down at the thousands before I start.
Are you saying like people doing it purposely?
I'm just saying, in the GAC Centre, we could throw the last 3 or 4 matches, drop
See,
down.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I grew up playing competitive sports. I'm not about to throw a match.
Oh, I'm all about throwing
not on purpose. Yeah, no. I don't know who's doing the charts, but Kate and I are still registered as being in Kyber 4. We
I'm
are
like, what the
Kyber 3
hell,
with everybody
Ranger?
else.
talk to Nev, man. I don't know.
We both pointed it out to Nev, and I don't think he's done
It still
anything.
hasn't changed because last night it was still the
I'm
same.
like, I'm pretty sure me and BCM are in the same grouping as all these people, and like, we look like we're doing really shitty, but it's like, if you actually look at it, like we're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, we're in the middle towards the front end of Kyber 3 division,
Yeah.
but they still have us in Kyber 4.
That's fine. Just keep messaging Nev. I don't have any. I mean, I just put my reports together based off what and what people send me in, and then do my reporting on the show. But I don't handle the slides. That's Nev and the crew in the background that do all that stuff. So, but if there's something wrong, let them know.
I would say something. Sorry, on the matchmaking. I would say that as a community, we are very smart. So I think we probably get a slightly jaundiced opinion of the people we know are always facing up. I guess the people in chat who listen to all the incredible advice and who look at the videos, you're against people who maybe don't get that input. So therefore, I think as a community, we're always going to see ourselves against higher people. So don't think it's a broken thing in the game and everyone's getting it. There are people out there, we just don't hear from them because they aren't.
Oh, there's a lot of casual that I've really come into contact with. Even like I said, there's a guy at work that I just found out plays the game, and he didn't know about GG. He doesn't watch any. He watches a YouTube video every now and then. As far as us content creators, this is like front and center. This is what we live, breathe, and how we're doing our content, right? So we're like the tip of the spear, so to speak, and the majority of the player base is actually not. I mean, even the ones that are on Facebook or the ones that are watching us now or the ones that watch content creators, that's such a small portion of the entire player base.
Yeah.
That I think that's why, you get the mods that aren't, in the right spot. You got, teams that are just like random, or you get the guys with, these huge 7.5s that have like 2 GLs, not, besides Helly's doing it for different reasons, but the majority of the player base is like that. So it's like, interesting.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. I didn't learn mods and stuff like that until I started streaming. Like
Right.
a lot of the stuff I learned is because I started streaming.
Yeah.
So
Yep. All right, Hellnex question for the fly sand fly over to fly over the sand. Assuming the Mace rework improves him in PvP and assuming 7 million GP roster at Kyber 3, could you please explain the origin of your name in full detail? What
We try every week.
God,
We're never getting it.
There were some girls. They said something. It's stuck.
Girls, there was a beach.
The end.
All this after Aldous Huxley.
There was
The
sand.
writer.
Yeah, it's coarse. It gets everywhere. We move on. All right.
It's complicated.
Skywalker Vader, our good Canadian Vulcan friend up there at the Frozen Tundra Canada, says, question, can someone pull Heinz's video down from last night on YouTube so Ram wakes up we can see it was just a dream? Laughing out loud. Serious none, how much will this affect Mace ship? Thanks. I don't think it'll have any effect on the ship. I think the ship is still poo-poo. Even with the Mace rework.
Yeah.
I mean, his kit's for ground salt, not the fleet. The fleet's still diarrhea. I can't put it any other way. It's not very good. I mean, the only thing that really affects his ship are mods, and I don't think those are going to change anything. So no, unless I'm missing something here. That's why I got the panel, because I have the brain damage.
I mean, depending on how good he is, he might be getting 6-stop mods. So
Yeah,
that'll speed his ship
maybe,
up, but
yeah,
that's
still
about it.
cuckoo. Yeah, it's still big.
I mean, isn't there? You could still. I don't know if the timeout team still works with Mace. But
not with the fleets and the teams we've got now. I mean, that back in the day,
maybe
yeah,
maybe in the lower divisions, maybe
could
still
be,
like
could be, yeah,
initial, carbonite and bronzium.
yeah, could,
Maybe you could get away with a Mace stall fleet, but
yeah. But yeah, as I said, we send it in to be the sacrificial lamb now. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you see that executor over there, Mace? Why don't you take your fleet in there and then we'll fall right.
You got it. Go get him.
Yeah, go get him, buddy.
You got it.
Yeah.
You get it.
Oh, oh
One
no,
shot.
he
Oh.
died. He bloated it up. Oh no, 1A. What else in the three says, question, if you run Mace with JMK, he'll taunt because of JMK's lead, right? Which means he won't have resilient defense because they said he wouldn't have both taunt and RD at the same time, right?
That was what we need to read into. That's one of the big questions
Yeah.
That's
on the
right.
taunt and that effect under GMK and GMK taunting and what will happen to the taunt. It's something that, yeah, I don't know, Ranger, if you ever tested that, but that's
I
one
wasn't
thing
looking at that
needs to
specifically,
be-
yeah. I was just... Problem is...
It's a very smart question from what else. It is the one kind of like question mark when you read it. Yeah, it's weird.
Did I miss it? Because I thought reading the kit, I thought I saw something about that. Once he gets 8 stacks of resilient defense, then he taunts, so that he gets attacked.
I'm reading it right now. If the target enemy is Shatter Point and the target ally is Jedi, oh no, this is just Mace gains 2 stacks of resilient defense, max 8 for the rest of the encounter.
I'm trying to... I don't have the kit in front of me, guys, so
Yeah.
I can't... My brain... And
when they went over it last night, I was a couple of glasses of wine in, so I was like,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
They didn't cover it. They didn't cover it in the launch. It was something that people were kind of picking up later on as a bit of a hang on. It's GMK's lead is more the question, because GMK's lead, I think, forces the taunt on.
Right. I'm trying to remember...
Affects, yeah, it's a weird one.
I think here it is. While Mace has resilient defense, he has plus 10% offense per stack and 100% counter chance. Whenever Mace gains taunt, he dispels it and gains 2 stacks of resilient defense.
Okay.
Resilient defense enemies will target this unit, lose 1 stack when damaged by an attack.
Okay.
So he will taunt, but it'll drop instantly and give him 2 stacks, and it's still a taunt.
Yeah.
How will it drop under GM? I mean, I don't know. It's one of the weird things. It is a weird. It's all in the wording, and I think.
Well,
yeah.
I'll say when I was running this, with JMK in testing, I didn't really think about that because when you're doing a JMK mirror, your tank's going to die. It's like Ahsoka. Oh no. But the other teams did quite well, but I wasn't looking at that specifically on that interaction, so maybe I need to go back and look at that again. I was just looking just how well did it perform with it.
That makes sense because the cat will always hit the GM, will hit the Mace then.
Yeah, instead of GK, right?
Instead of GK, so you won't ever notice this because it'll happen in the first few moves. But it's something from the. It is a very, very smart question from what and one of
I don't have a. I don't.
It's something that needs to be looked at.
I don't have a definite answer on this one. That's a good point. Yeah. Again, this is what I love. We get this stuff out to the community, and then people start really looking at this stuff in detail, and find stuff that I was like, I didn't think of that. That's a really good point. It's like, how is that going to work? Does it work? I didn't really check for sure. How that plays, huh?
Yeah, so it might mean that Mace actually won't
maybe I
work
did, and I can't
all.
remember it right now because my brain is not functioning right now.
Mace, that means that technically, if as written, it means that Mace will never get resilient defense under GMK. I don't think.
That's true. I did not.
He'll be on perma taunt, which means he can get resilient defense.
That's a great point, Jack Daniels says. Did you test with 2 tanks? I did not test with 2 tanks. I didn't even think of that. I was just running the normal team like I would normally run JMK. Because what would you take off? So, you put the team in there. JMK, GK, Mace, and then Cat and Ahsoka. Yeah, that could play, actually. But you still run the 50-50 of, tanks are taunting. Put you in a JMK.
Oh, most likely take out Kenobi. Or it depends on the AI.
If you take that means you've taken Padme out of that team, which...
Yeah.
means it's quite easily GMLable. It's I don't know. It's a or you can pad me it. I think yourself.
I mean, yeah, the things that I kind of dicked around with Mace on for testing purposes was the JMK team, of course. I did test with some Padme. It did fine for at that level and did quite well. And then Qui-Gon Jinn teams, but I mean, anything outside of GL, Qui-Gon can still, without Mace, do quite well. So, I mean, it's really about Jedi Anakin and that team doing that big hit, smack it down, burning everybody to the ground thing. So
I forget who also said it, but they also, and I think you guys mentioned it earlier, I want to say it might have been Crumb, but I could be wrong. It might have been Miller, implied he could be used in the Starkiller team as the Jedi now.
Yeah. Well, someone's saying that don't you lose some stuff? Yeah, but I think you do lose. I mean, I did quite well with it in my initial test. I didn't do too crazy stuff with Starkiller, but he can be easily replaced GK because it's all just being the requirements because you get the buffs from the Starkiller kit to those characters. And that's what it's there for. It's just mainly that team's there just to get Starkiller loose. And once he does, I mean, you're going to annihilate somebody. So, but different scenarios, different teams. So, yeah, you could easily, because as I was saying before you came on, Kate, you can easily slot him in where I'm using GK right now as that Jedi now, put Mace in there. And it does its work very well. I mean, you could do that now, but Mace just does nothing to that team. At least GK can do the big hit and do retribution and things of that nature. Mace was just in there like, I'm Mace Windu. It's like, okay, well, you're taunted and you help the team get to its goals, but now you can do some stuff with them.
Well, that's a big question for CG Ranger. If you could, that's one of the things that we don't know.
Yeah, I'll see.
I'm sure we'll find out once the kid actually gets revealed on the site.
Yeah. Let's see here. Next question. Neo Venom 2 question. If you answer my question, hi stream last night that I missed, so I'll ask the second part again. Why does the head of the live action Grin Inquisitor look like Palpatine's, no, Zach.
Artistic license.
Artistic license, yes. There you go. One man's big head is another man's shiny crystal ball. Let's see here. King Zeldris question. When will the rest of the Jedi Council get their due reworks?
They are due.
They are due, man. I mean, we got quite a few Jedi that are sitting there. They're just, they're not good. I don't also put it. They're not very good. They just don't offer anything. Even with the Mace Rework, we got this question again earlier before you got on, Kate. Like, how good does it make the other GR Jedi? Not very, because their kits are so bad.
All they have to do is add in Omicron that at this point, add an Omicron that basically synergizes the Jedi Council members. Granted, it might involve adding a tag, but that's an easy to it because it's beyond me how the Jedi Council members still suck. But
well, we got what now? We got Cam, he's decent. Mace is just reworked. Grandmaster Yoda's decent.
But there's still other members who just are it makes no sense
I agree.
To me how there's Jedi Council members that are utter crap. And then you have other Jedi that
are amazing.
They're amazing. They never received any training. They weren't Jedi nearly as long as these other people. So the experience level just isn't there. It just beyond me. That's about it.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with it. What else? Any 3 questions? Since during the Clone Wars, Mace teamed up with Jar Jar and they worked so well together, this is a sign of things to come. I'm just going to pretend you didn't ask that and use the J word here. So you're a very bad man, What else? Any 3. Everybody move back. We're moving back from this question. It's not, no.
Wait, Jar Jar. Okay, we need Jar Jar.
No.
That means.
All this. What did I just say? We're moving away from the question.
I don't not miss. Okay, Porkins confirmed.
Okay, it's Porkins. Pull up.
There you go.
Galactic legend Darth Jar Jar.
we need more pilots. Porkins.
The true Phantom Menace.
That's true.
Porkins could have a holdo maneuver on a soul. He could kill himself and also kill a baddie.
Well, no, he didn't.
He didn't really kill the baddie.
No, he got shot down and crashed. Yeah.
No,
Okay,
he
we
didn't
don't
even
know.
get shot. He just
No,
crashed.
he did a lot of damage on the surface of the Death Star. He might have taken out something important.
Oh no,
Like
no,
what?
no.
Like
He
the
he
pant,
had his
the covering.
he didn't get hit. He had his artificial gravity turned down to halfway, so he didn't feel the Death Star pulling against him,
Ah, gotcha.
and that's why he crashed.
Yeah, see, science. That's not science, but it is.
It's in the book.
Yeah. Tila Matt, question: do you guys think that there will be a GL announcement in the road ahead next week? They did say that they were going to hopefully get the road ahead in this week. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get a GL announcement in the old road ahead?
At a minimum, you're gonna get a hint at what error. I feel like that's what I think.
I think it's. I don't know. And
I don't think they'll directly say who it is. I think they'll just hint at like what part of the Star Wars universe they're looking at for the next set of, because obviously they come in sets. So I think they're gonna they're gonna imply which one it's gonna come for, but I don't think they'll tell us.
I don't think.
Maybe.
I'm not thinking GL. I'm thinking it's going to be another Star Killer level character.
Okay, interesting.
I think it's GL.
using the Inquisitors and something else, or there'll be a Star Killer level character. I don't think it's going to be a full blown GL at this point.
Okay. And Knowledge, you think there's going to be a GL announcement?
I think we'll have an announcement on moving into Return of the Jedi. What are we, 40 years? 2023. I think we'll see talk about Endor. I think we'll see that. I think we'll move towards an Endor Leia, but I think they will specifically merely on the monetary end of the quarter. I think we will be looking at a GL Jabba the Hutt or something, or a Dark Saber Mando or a Dark Saber Moff Gideon, something in that space. I definitely think the putting Fennec Shan on double drops makes no sense, or extra drops. There's no reason for that. And I think
isn't this like the second time they've done something like her marquee event came back again?
So
they're really pushing hard on Fennec.
They get the impression everyone should be further ahead of Fennec than maybe where we are, as though Fennec got delayed and they're trying to kind of catch up with the time program. So yeah, I think Fennec's important to it. I think there's a load of packs coming from the data mines, which are for Queel IG-88. I think those are coming back in soon. So everything points towards a GL being announced this week. Something to do with the Mandalorian, involving Fennec, Queel, IG-88, which could be Dark Saber Mando, but we've already got 3 of those or 2 of those. So I think it's something in that space. God knows what.
Well, neither one of the Mandos have the Dark Saber.
No, I mean, we have 2 Mandos.
Well, I know that, but
yeah, bringing a third Mando and giving him a dark saber.
We
have 6 Hans and 7 Chewies.
I know.
I'm so tired of the repeats.
Yeah. I'm tired of the repeats.
You know how many times people get yelled at in my guild because they set the wrong character? They all look so similar.
How many times have I been bit in the butt because I thought Cat was just regular Ahsoka?
Oh no. Oh no.
So do you think with the push in Fennec, do you think they're gonna probably do something from Book of Boba Fett?
I think they're gonna do something around there. I mean, it could be Black Chrysanthemum. I don't see him GL level, so it could be a Star Killer level one of him. But I think given the time frame and the proximity to the end of the quarter, the financial year, I think they need a GL. So it's got to be something that people are going to push for. So I think we're going to get some sort of GL, and I think it's going to be something from The Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett or Kenobi. But
GL Grogu.
I don't know. Could be. I don't know. It's
so cute.
I want Dad Bob riding the Rancor, just
I want the
have the
Rancor.
Rancor feet just sitting there and then just swiping people.
Nice.
Or could it be implying a new raid? I don't know.
That could be.
Probably not. Probably not.
But yeah, I mean, I know absolutely nothing, and I know Ranger can't comment, but that's my.
Well,
if I look at what they're dropping, that's what I kind of see as being the areas that they might go. But I do think they'll move towards Endor for the Return of the Jedi in 2023. So I think they'll move towards moving away from Geonosian, and they'll move towards that. So I think the TBs seem to be still viable a year later. So I think we could see an Endor TB. type map. They've talked about a change to the Grand Arena. We've talked about that extensively, but we should get that next week. So yeah, I think there'll be a lot of things in there, but I do think there might not be the GL announcement this week. That might come the week after, but I do think in the next week or two we'll get it.
Because it takes time to build up to also, because they announced the Rex in like bunches.
Yeah, so I'll say this: I mean, with all the testing I do, and the other testers do way more than I do. But the thing that we don't know, unless we're doing exclusives, is characters. We may know when characters might come if we're doing like an exclusive reveal, like I did with Maul and I did with Talon. But we know stuff ahead of time. I knew about the gear changes. I knew about all this stuff, but I never know when they're going to put it out, if they're going to put it out, and how they're going to put it out. I'm in the dark as much as you guys. I don't know. Yeah, and that's that's the expectation. It's like, okay, I did my part. I put as much insight on it. They're going to make their final decision on it, and then whenever they decide to release it. So when we get Roads Ahead or and things of that nature, I'm learning about it just as the first time as you guys are. So I'll be curious to see what they're going to announce in the road ahead as well. I have some insight of what they might say. I have no clue of what they are going to say. So you're going to ask me like what's coming. I have no idea. I have no idea what direction they're going to go.
You know what they could be with Fennec? Didn't they say like in Fennec's reveal in the video, there was Slave 1 pop by. Could be a new Slave 1 with Fennec as a pilot with Dad Bod Boba.
Yeah, could be. Nice. The old busted version of Slave 1.
Well, that happened with Razor Crest. Razor Crest came in one of the clips, and we haven't heard. And it could be why they're pushing so hard for Fennec, because you need her higher level to make the ship work.
Sure,
like, as intended.
Absolutely,
that's possible.
Yeah, I like that. That plays. Works for me. Works for the rest of the panel. So let it be written. So let it be done. Let's see here. Jack answers this question. What was Crumb talking about last night with the changing GAC mod lock time? I don't remember this. Did he say something about rechanging GAC mod lock time? Was something asked about
the whole time?
I don't remember. I was trying to get questions. I don't remember this.
They were talking about changes to GAC as though they've done quite a bit. I presume, fingers crossed, it might go to the same as TW, where you can join and leave. Hopefully that's what they're working on, and hopefully that's what he was implying. And it won't lock until the
time
close
actually.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of locking when you push the button.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Oh yeah, what else says it? Yeah, test wait for
TW roster lock will
TW.
happen at lock, not when you enter. Gotcha. Okay. Wolfman's confirming that. So you can join, but won't lock in until the defensive round starts. Okay, so you can mess around with your mods and stuff, just in case you forget something. Okay, cool. All right. Or you want to make a change. Okay, that makes sense. There's so much more I missed last night than I actually remember last night, guys. So if you're going to ask me specifics, I'm just telling you, it's a little bit of a blank. It was 1,500 people watching that stream last night. It was madness, dude. It was absolutely madness. Wilmos' question, did they change the Lord Vader boss battle in Sector 4? Same team, same mods and disc, and now not taking a turn. I don't know, Wilmo. I just beat it, and I knew what to use there. I used 2 leader resolves, stacking offense and stuff like I did before. I went in there with the same team. I went in there with GK, Shakti, Gas. What else did I go in there with? GMK lead with... And then Ahsoka, Cat, and I was able to beat it. And I did it one shot this time because I knew this time to put all the leader resolve and fervor and all that other crap off. Stacking offense was a big thing, all that. I wasn't doing accelerated hyper or nothing. I was all offense and leadership buffs. Has anybody got? I got to Sector 4 yesterday and did it. Has anybody got to the Sector 4 Lord Vader boss fight?
I did it yesterday.
Did you notice anything different? It just seemed like the same fight.
It seemed. I think it was a different approach taken to it. I
True.
think I'm not entirely sure because I I used troopers with Watt last time, I want to say, and I feel like it went differently. But I watched Bit Dynasty's video and I used the troopers in shock this time, and that seemed to work a lot better, but it involved like it was a lot of the stacking offense, which I don't remember last time, but maybe it was. I don't really remember. But the initial tether tech put that on there. I think that's the one it was. So yeah, Bit Dynasty's video is really good and it gives you a lot of different comps. So.
Yeah, try that out. I mean, the Lord Vader one. I mean, it's just it is the block that's keeping people from getting, some people to get into Sector 5. But I mean, there's some really good videos out there, and good information out there about that. So
I did it 2-3 days ago. I used the troopers.
Okay.
With Watt, with the frenzy tech. And then once Watt moves, who obviously moves first, everybody just spikes to 100% TM, and you drop, is it range from the teams? You go in with Gideon, Veers, Gideon, Moff, Veers, Moff, Gideon, Piet, Dark, and Watt. And I had a frenzy tech just sitting on the thing, but I'm miles ahead of, because I got the 5-star thing before lock, 5-star ship, I'm miles ahead of thing. I might finish it in 2-3 days. I'm quite close.
Okay.
But yeah, that one, and then I just need to move my damage mods from SLKR onto Dark Trooper, to get through it. That's the only thing I need to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, surprisingly, didn't move any mods for that.
Yeah, I didn't really need to move any mods. It was just about the of like what's the approach is the most important thing in the disc, like what I was using that made the difference. Because doing it the first time, the previous round, it was like, okay, what the hell am I going to use here? And trying to figure it out. So it took a few battles to beat it. So I don't know what disc you're using, my friend, but check out that stuff. See what disc you're using. What disc do you have available? See if you can kind of match what some of the people that you just heard, myself or Aldous or some of these videos. Ray Roxas Scale Tricks also has a great guide on it. So there's another great guide that you can go look at.
I think it might be. I don't know which one I used, but I think one of them, the one I used with Watt and the Troopers, works with no discs.
Well, that's because of the frenzy. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, you can actually strip the disc. You don't need the stacking damage. So I think there are some discs that made it harder.
The accelerated, the debuff ones made it worse.
So there are discs that made it proportionally harder. And I have to say, I've seen a lot less of those in this round. I've seen a lot less of the thermal detonators, dots at the start of your turn. And I've actually, to be honest, because of the way I'm doing it, I've now been doing the easy route. I don't even bother going the hard route, because once you get the overpowered, that one?
Massively overpowered.
Massively overpowered one, literally you can just wipe anything. You don't need other discs once you get that. So I've actually stopped going the harder route since about halfway through the third tier. So I'm just wiping much easier teams. So that'd be my other bit of advice, is that don't stay on that hard track once you get to massively overpowered and some of the other higher level discs. It's not worth it. Just go the easy route.
All right. Let's see here. Next question. What else, 73? At this point, what do you think we need the most in Sluggun that we talked about in the road ahead? I think we just need a new guild event, something for guilds. We haven't had that. We've had a lot of individual stuff lately. So I'm hoping we get some kind of stuff for guilds, or that's maybe they're thinking about doing. We've got raids and we've got TB and all that stuff, but it's kind of the same thing over and over again. So it'd be nice to have a new event, totally different from those. That would just be something that guilds could do as a guild, and something new and exciting that's not a territory battle, that's not a raid, or TW. We've all done those over and over again, where it's like, okay, let's go do TB time, let's go in and get our rewards, do the fights, oh great, hey, the raid's up, everybody go attack, okay, we got reward, that kind of thing. So I don't know, that's what I'm hoping to see in that. What are you guys hoping to see, or what do you think we need most in SWGOH that you'd like to see them talk about in the road ahead? Anybody?
Everyone's looking for I think more variety, like you say. I do think the importance of being guild coordination is great when it comes to TW, but it's becoming less important in TB. It's almost non-existent now in raids, the raids we have. So I think we could see a new TB map, but that's not really going to help us. What would I most like to see? I think they're doing a decent job, I have to say. Okay, so at the moment, we talked earlier on about launching new characters. I like the new characters. I like new Nomicrons. I like what they're doing there. I think that's super great fun. I think that's keeping GAC kind of fresh. I like the idea of a new GAC map. We talk about it every week. So hopefully their GAC improvements make GAC a relevant game mode in a year's time. Whereas I think at the moment, there is a slight staleness or a slight repetitiveness maybe coming into it. There's danger there. So yeah, so I think for me, it'd be a new GAC map would be my number one.
Okay, what about you, Kate? Anything that comes to mind?
I definitely want a new GAC map. I mean, you guys know how I feel. I kind of get bored, like we've been doing 5v5 for how long? Like, and the same map. I get bored with it. I like when we used to switch to 3v3, but I am like one of the only people that like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just a new GAC map in general. I'm not saying it has to be a 3v3 map, like just something. Just no three ships. No three ships.
A rework of it. So
yeah.
that it's more scalable and more choices, I think. It doesn't need to be any particular shape, but just, yeah, something like that, I think is.
Yeah. But I think also very important would be they need some kind of indicator to know when an Omicron is applied.
Mm.
Like, I think that's pretty important because there's a lot of people who just stick certain teams together on like defense just to see if they can throw you off. It would be very nice just to have an easy way to show like, okay, well, that is a Omicron Qui-Gon Jinn. And it's not. So that's just me personally. I need a change of pace or something.
Sure. And I'm looking to see also about the gear upcoming. What are we doing with gear? We've done the phase 1 stuff. Okay, what's phase 2? What's that going to involve, right? Because
we need something going from 12 to 13.
Yeah, I think it's time for it to be addressed and stuff. So yeah,
with the right hand pieces.
Yeah, but I do hope they don't lead with that. I hope they lead with new game mode. And then I hope it's not like, right, we're just going to give you, this is the extra gear we're giving you, and then here's all the stuff you need to spend. And, I hope there's been too long without a new game mode or we're working on a new game mode thing. So I hope they lead with that.
All right. Anything you're on that question? I don't know if you heard it there.
I did, yeah.
Any thoughts?
Inner guild grudge matches. Or actually just in general, maybe I don't know what you call it, but for lack of better terms, a challenge mode like, Kate, I want to take you on. I'm going to send you a request to, do our own little, GAC round and see what happens.
Well, when we did speed
like
GAC, that did get brought up about like where this is basically to see if it's possible, and we were able to all get in the same division, so it's possible. Maybe phase out Squad Arena and just make that the only like.
Well, I mean, put in the ally code and go, send request to fight, 1 round or whatever.
That'd be so cool.
And then, you don't even have to have a time limit. It would be like a sandbox type thing, but it'd just be for bragging rights. Like, oh, I took you on and got you, or you got me good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know people would say that's only benefiting like streamers and stuff, and yeah, majority of like it really is. I think it'd be so cool to take on people in your guild, your friends who play. Like, it'd be so much fun, and you could play like some silly rules, like they gotta like I don't know,
no GLs,
just
only
meme
light
teams.
Side,
Like, it could be so much fun, and that's just me.
Or the ability to preference your allies or your if your allies are within 5 more or 5 less, then they like a way to just kind of suck you together a little bit more so that it's not random, because I think, there's so many little people, not little people, so many amazing streamers that are around me, and I'm like, right, okay, they're 5 more, now they're 5 less. And you like, it's like, go, we dare. And everybody wants to play them, but you end up with somebody random from Russia.
And
Well,
I
I mean,
see
it's-
it's like the people say in chat too, like it would benefit all the players and even guildmates because you're teaching them counters. You can theory craft it, make it a lot
yeah.
easier. Because like currently, the way you're theory crafting and practicing counters is in Squad Arena and Bleed
GW,
Arena.
yeah.
Yeah, and it would give you a way to practice with people in your guild, like coming up with the counters, stuff like that. People you know.
I mean, maybe
Nice.
not, you know, people outside your guild, but in the guild itself, like anybody in your guild, you know, you can have the TW officers or whatever, and like you said, practice counters, or just be able to challenge them to even up just a 1-5v5. It doesn't have to be a map.
Yeah.
But then it's like, because they do it in what's the other one? In Strike Force, that you can challenge individual people for a live match. Like Kate and I could, you know, I could challenge Kate right now, and then it would come up, and then you have an option to, you know, ban certain characters. Like we can ban all the GLs or whatever, and then we have to fight with whatever's left over.
That'd be so much fun.
It's doable in mobile games. Sorry.
But I do see how coding that whole archetype in there would be almost impossible, like a request mode, and so I don't think we get that. But I do.
But we
think...
have ally requests. It wouldn't be much different than that. It'd basically be an ally request, and then it would be what they're saying, what you can eliminate GLs. Like, I mean, you could always just say it to one another,
Right?
But there could be a button, like a turn on and off GLs, like a toggle button, like when you send the request, be like to
So I mean,
the person,
at first,
no GLs.
It'd be a one zone battle, right? You could put a defense and you have and then you have your offense or whatever.
Well, it would be the greatest thing they could do. I mean, if they could bring us the ability to GAC against who we want, I guess if I play devil's advocate, would anyone care about the other guild modes anymore? Like the entire rest of the game might just end up in the trash bin because everyone's going to be doing that.
Well,
like,
because there wouldn't be rewards.
Because Relic 9 is.
It would be too good. Yeah, but it would be too good. But yeah, I you're 100% right. It would be an amazing thing. It would be good for the community because the quantity of, I mean, if I was playing Kate or Bees, it would be amazing. We'd have so much fun, and everybody would enjoy it, and it would be across the whole. But I can see how it's probably quite hard to code. Would be my only concern.
I don't know if it would be that hard, and I think the speed JAC was like almost like a trial run for it. I think I'm not entirely sure, but coding wise, everything's in place. It would just be a matter of like cutting down the time of everything to like 15 minutes. Like maybe I don't know how complicated it would be. It would have some complications, but I don't think it's not doable.
I think you could combine it. It'd just be like the chat, right? Like I could request a chat with anybody in the game that has an ally code, and so it'd be like the same. But you know, you could add a button instead of chat request you, or you could chat them up and then say, hey, I want to challenge you to a round.
Or it could also just be a single battle, and that could replace the current squad arena, because the squad arena is pretty much irrelevant now, and you're basically only using that. Like I use it to practice counters. Like I don't care where I end up. The rewards are.
I think I'm down at like 300 now.
I think the archetype of the game kind of doesn't have. It's never had that sandbox mode. I don't think they're going to give us it. It would be. I don't know. I would.
Well, the squad arena, you could just click like pick random opponent, or you could just pick like ally. And they have like a certain time limit to accept. It wouldn't be. I don't think it would be hard.
Well, yeah, but I think the implications of us being able to trial anything against anything, and basically, I don't know, maybe test out things before we buy them. I don't know. I'm more around just kind of changing. Okay, no, I think what you propose is incredible. Don't get me wrong. I think it would be amazing. I think it would create a lot of fundamental problems, though, if I'm honest. Not from maybe our side, but maybe from their side. But I'd love it if they just squashed the scores and maybe made, I don't know, just let me face my friends, please.
Yeah, it'd be fun, right? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's things that have come in this game that we never thought they were going to do. And so, I mean...
Mace?
It could happen one day, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm seeing if there's any other questions. Remember, guys, get your questions in. If you have a question you want to post it to myself or the panel, just make sure you put your question into the chat. Make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement. Just as a friendly reminder, we'll be doing GAC after this. If the GAC whisper thing, Kyrellus ever wakes up. So we go knock out GAC. And I'm going to take the rest of the day off and tomorrow off because there's no D&D tonight. One, because we have people that are out. And two, it'll be a nice little break because after this week, man, I've done a lot of streams. Recharge the old battery. Plus, we're under Snowmageddon here, and it snowed. Oh god, there's snow outside right now, and it's cold, and everybody's freaking out here in Alabama. So,
I'm gonna go build a snowman.
would you want to build a snowman?
You're gonna build a snowman.
So I'm not seeing any other questions in there right now. Let me check one more time. I think we've caught up on the questions. No, we're caught up on questions. I'll be down. I don't know. You guys want to sit around and talk about your feelings? I don't know. How's everybody doing this week at GAC? Kate, how's your GAC going?
Still hitting that ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still hit that ceiling.
Hit that ceiling. Aldous, I think you said you did.
I spent the week in Germany, so
hey.
I missed Monday. I flew to Germany on Monday. I flew back on Friday, so I didn't stream Monday and Thursday. And even though I did okay, I didn't beat my opponents. So I did lose the Monday and the Thursday one, but I won this morning. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'm a little bit lower than where I should be. But real life, real life. Yeah, I had it this morning. It was good. Yeah.
No, this is just a game.
It is something I have to say is that I think everyone, if you have a holiday, needs to put the game down and just take a loss for the week or two. I know Kate never will, but constantly smashing your head against whatever ceiling you're at can grind you a little bit. So sometimes kind of, if you have a holiday, play the round, enjoy the round, but practice the counters like you say, but don't all out meta it with all the checking the mods and stuff. Just enjoy it. If you get a win, you get a win, but dropping down a tiny bit is not horrific.
All right. Oh boy, Hellenix with a question for Kate. Let's just get to that one, but there's one before then. CMY68 says, question, what were the major things from last night other than Mace Rework couldn't watch live? I don't remember everything that was said. The highlights of what was answered or not. I don't know if they really gave any other big things other than the road ahead.
Mace was the biggest one, and then the
road ahead's
information about the road ahead coming, and
road ahead next week.
Excuse me.
And I think I think they're going to drop all the information on the road ahead. So they weren't going to give too much on that last night. So we'll have to wait for this week to see what's going to be put in the road ahead. But yeah, Mace and the road ahead. I'm trying to think if there's anything other major.
GAC changes were kind of talked about, but not specific.
Not really. Yeah.
They've hinted at that like a while ago.
Yeah. All right, Helen. Next question from the great Miss Kate _. What are your thoughts on a potential level cap increase? I know a guy who has over 2 billion Galactic credits saved up. Oh boy! And by that he means Helly. Yeah.
Kate. I saw a screenshot of somebody they literally hit the cap of the credits.
I don't think we're gonna ever in the near future get any cap increase to level. We're just not with the relics and everything
up to
else.
100.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting a level increase anytime.
I think we'll get to 90 before that.
Yeah.
Well, it's also if they even did increase it,
that'd be pandemonium.
Well,
it's already what, 1 million credits to 85.
Yeah.
Well, it's also one of those say you have somebody who's has a really big roster. How are you going to judge how they move up? What if somebody who's I don't know how that would work. I don't know.
With the relics and stuff too. I just don't think I just don't think we're going to get a level increase anytime soon.
I think the relics are taking over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Navju question, not a real question. How does Harry Carey think my Virginia Tech Hokies will do versus Duke Blue Devils tonight? Oh, they're going to win by 400 points. Hell, you might as well not even watch the game. It's over. It's over immediately before they even show up on the court. It's going to be a blowout. Bye, Duke. Ha, fooled you. I have no idea.
They did answer. They did answer about the shipment store, about why did they muck about the shipment store?
That was one.
That was for a future thing. Was it when pushed on it? Is there's going to be some other kind of reorganizations of stuff, and that was what it was for. So it was something else. It's going to change.
So look out, folks! Don't get out of that muscle memory and be careful.
Yeah, and Jack Dan said they did. They should have communicated that better. That was a point too.
Yeah.
Yep, that was part of it. Let's see here. Andrew Zani Major, what's going on, buddy? This question: when do you think we will get the rest of the Phase 1 gear changes? I'm going to say probably, if not this next week, coming up the week after, because the road ahead, since it's being announced, they're going to announce the final
Hopefully
parts
it'll be in there, yeah.
the final parts of the gear stuff into ending of Phase 1 into Phase 2 is what I'm hoping for. So that's what I think is going to happen. I don't have like when they're going to do it. With the road ahead gives us some a rough timeline of what we can expect for that, because oh boy, this Gear 12 stuff. I'm taking JML, as you guys know. I should have them done this weekend to Relic 9, and it is so brutal when you have to take those many furnaces and stuff, not put them on all the characters I could be using the 4 to get other relics, just to get one character to Relic 9. It is absolutely brutal. And it was brutal doing on Piet, and it was brutal doing on JML. Worth it. Don't get me wrong, it's worth it. But it sucks, because I'm just looking at all those furnaces and those 3 right side pieces that I could be using right now on all these other characters I could be taking to Relic 0. It's like, it's a hard thing. It's 260 pieces of that crap to take the thing up, man. It's oh boy. Ooh.
I would say I 100% think that they'll drop the road ahead. That'll mean that I definitely think they'll put the gear changes in there. They might not that, so that'll just they'll give us the plan. I think last time they gave us the plan but didn't drop it all at the same time.
No.
So we might get the plan, what it'll look like. I would say they've just dropped some suspiciously good looking packs in the last week into the store. Mm-hmm. Potentially cashing in on the shortage of right side pieces. And left side pieces, which I think is a bit of an indication for me that next week they will loosen those, certainly. And this is the last kind of push to kind of get people to buy all these packs, as many as they can. And yeah, so I think it'll definitely be in there. They love the road ahead to be positive. They love it to be, this wonderful thing. And gear loosening is a wonderful sweetener. So I think it'll definitely be mentioned next week. I don't know if we'll get it.
Gappy questions. Did they mention the next part of the gear changes last night? No, they didn't get into any real specifics or answer anything about anything. And I think that has to do with the road ahead coming up. So they were kind of vague. They did answer about the store and some other things, but, those were smaller things because compared to that. I think it's because of the road ahead. I mean, that's my 2 cents. I think they're going to put some big stuff in the road ahead, and they want the big stuff to be in the road ahead. So they didn't give any nuggets or teases that I can remember. I mean, everyone remembers the stream. I was too busy trying to scoop questions last night and other things.
I want hard modes to go back to 8. Everything turns into everything doubles, ships included, from base. Move it up to basically everything accelerated except for the newest characters.
Yeah.
And then that would be a killer. That would help a lot, but even just double drops on gear rates.
Yeah. So yeah. I think there wasn't anything else that I can think of, but then again, I'm sleep deprived right now, so my brain ain't working even close to all cylinders. Andrew's on, I don't have Jin Key, but the Mace Rework is really tempting under Padme. Yeah, it's pretty nice. All right, any other questions? Well, Gappy doubled up on his question. I know you didn't mean on purpose, buddy. Happy Rambam Day, says Tumblr.
Rambam's new holiday. Probably put it on the calendar.
Wolfman says, didn't Crumb say probably no on 8 hard nodes sim again? I don't remember.
I don't know. I didn't see it, so I'm just throwing out what I'd like to see.
All right, Fourth Okage. I'm not gonna even. I'm not even gonna
Oh, there
answer
he
your
is.
question. You can get your ass in here and like part of the team and get ready for some GC. Get in here, Fourth Okage. I'm gonna answer your question. He's like, and your testing is the finite loop between GMK and Mace not working properly. Does Mace always have max stacks all the time? I'm not gonna answer that. You get your butt in here, young man, and then I'll answer your questions.
We did answer it. We did
No,
answer it earlier.
no, I'm doing this because I want him to get his ass in here and
He needs in here.
yeah, he needs to get in here.
And there's the Mace lover himself.
Oh no!
Yeah.
There he is,
Oh.
Mr.
Happy
Rambam.
Ram Bam.
Yes,
Happy Ram
it's
Bam.
not
Ram
Happy
Day.
Ram Bam Day. It's Happy Mace Day.
Yes,
Same
yes. Happy Mace Day.
Well, it won't happen until it actually happens. So when it actually goes live, then I'll claim
Man,
it
we
as a
should have just
holiday.
acted like it was a dream. Like what are you talking about?
I don't know.
Ram?
Yeah, I mean, I
Mace Rework. What?
I heard they're nerfing him.
Oh yeah, there. I heard that.
He was doing too much damage, so they gotta
we're gonna
pull
have to-
some damage from
we're
him.
gonna have to do that.
It was a 10% drop in damage.
Oh, they did say hard node to the 8 hard nodes. Okay, that's what people in chat are saying. So
Yeah.
That was the best 6 months of Star Wars.
it really was, man.
Yeah.
Calling this from the one dude to the wall. All right. Question now, Drew. How much spice did Ram Bam consume celebrating the rework? Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, love it.
Oh, the spice. It's good. Yes. So much spice. Let's see here. I think that's it. I'm not seeing any other questions. Okay. All right. Fourth Cog, we've already answered all these questions. You're a day late and $1 short, man. Who talked to Nazim about Mace, dude? It's not my fault you weren't here. Now Fourth Cog is going to double down since I'm being cheeky and won't respond. So sorry, you can go back and go to the early part of the stream where we talked about Mace at nauseum and answered a lot of questions from the viewers on that one.
They did talk about kind of monitoring. They did talk about kind of monitoring Vader and monitoring the.
Did they? I remember saying that.
But they didn't. They sort of said, "Oh, we're looking at that. We're part of the monitoring. We don't know." So they were a little bit vague on that. So I don't know. I'd like them to be a little bit more specific.
They may not have an answer though. When they're vague like that, sometimes they just don't have an answer, right? And I'd rather them not say anything.
Well, no, I mean, I guess there's a big computer somewhere that's collecting wins and losses at the moment.
Well, it's just the one laptop they have, yeah.
Oh, yeah, one laptop. Yeah. And it's logged into SWGOH, and it's just downloading. But I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. But yeah, the ships don't seem broken to me. The Wampa Omi, that one's sketch. But yeah. But they did talk a little bit of that, but they were a bit vague on it, I would say.
Yeah. As I said, last night was kind of it was a whirlwind.
Yeah. Last night was a party rather than
It really was. I had too much fun last night.
And Duranzi Majors said, they basically said that if you're putting C on defense, it's your fault if Wampa beats him.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, and there's certain counters to that. Like if you I put Malik with C on defense when I put him down for a lot to stop a lot of BS, right? Because, that fear you hit. And Malik can hold his own against anyone. He's a pain in the ass. So, again, we talked about this earlier, right? You got to think about what you're putting down to counter what based off what the other person has and really give it a quick, really think about it. Like, okay, they can use this team, but if I do this, can it count it, right? And then, all joking aside, me and Thane talk about this all the time. Like, okay, if we use this on here, will this, and sometimes it's after we've seen some of our teams not have we'll put a team down and it won't have this success. Maybe it has early success, and then as time goes on, people figure stuff out, and then we're like, okay, we got to mix this up a little bit. But what do we do, right? And so sometimes we'll like for the Iden team, I put Stark on there now, right? Because I really don't need Stark for my Imperial Troopers. And, oh boy, never mind.
Emotional rammage.
All right, here we go. Hi, Ram.
I slept so good last night.
I bet you did.
Oh man.
Yeah, there he is. There's Rambo.
So what do you think, Ram?
Oh, dude, it's just it's so surreal.
I mean, he did get a territory war on me, though. Just saying.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm
That's
fine with
okay
that.
though.
I have uses for him.
So where are you gonna use Mace now? Like where are you looking?
For the most part, Starkiller, 100%. That whole kit screams, use me with Starkiller and just wreck everything and leave right there. Like I think Ranger would agree with me on that one.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. That Starkiller's a good fit for him. I mean, he works well with JMK. He's going to work well with Padme. He's going to work well with Starkiller.
Qui-Gon Jinn is another one he'll work
Qui-Gon
well with.
Jinn, yeah.
Is he gonna make any counters like easier? I guess you found this in your testing, Ranger, but is having Mace there going to make certain counters
That's a good question, Ranger.
easier?
Depends on what you're facing and what you're using. I mean, Mace in himself just makes whatever you're using better, but it still comes down to what you're countering, right? Like if you're using Starkiller against a GL and you got Mace in there, it makes it better. It's still not going to be, a guaranteed, right?
How does it work?
I'm so happy to hear Ranger talking about Mace.
Say like Lord Vader Maul. Like Lord Vader Maul, like we all know, like those can go sketch real quick.
Right.
Does that like help that one at all?
I mean, for the most part, I didn't have many problems with that one. Well, the thing with that one is that it most of the time wins. It can lose because, with that many Kenobis, Maul just keeps losing his goddamn mind. It just depends on where he starts hitting and stuff, right? So, but if you take JK out and you put Mace in, then he. Yeah, it works pretty well. I mean, Starkiller was already powerful already without Mace. As I said, it just makes it a little bit easier, a little bit better, but it's not meta changing. But then again, Kate, I always say this. I'll wait till y'all get your grubby's little hands on it and find stuff that I didn't even think about, and the next thing I know is like, did you hear about this? It's like, God dang, man, I didn't even think about that.
I do have a couple things. I don't know if you've tested it or if you can test it, but a couple things with Mace's interaction I wanted to take note of. First off, obviously with Shatterpoint, huge addition coming. That is obviously resistible. Not Shatterpoint itself. Shatterpoint's not resistible, but the effects of it is that resistible. Like if they have tenacity up and they get applied with Shatterpoint, and you hit them, do they still take the? Is that a potency check with the reducing the max health and defense and offense, or is that just because it doesn't say in the kit? It just says Shatterpoint being applied is unresistible.
I don't think.
Who are you? What'd you do with Ram?
Well, I'm trying to think. You just threw all that shit at me at once, and it's too early in the morning for me. I'm just going through my head everything you just put there, you turkey.
He's not a programmer.
He doesn't know. Yeah, as far as I remember, again, my brain's not working. Shatterpoint lands. It didn't really matter anything else because it is irresistible, right? I'm trying to think if there's any
Shatterpoint
scenario.
itself is unresistible.
I don't know about the other stuff because I didn't see I didn't have like the minutiae of things.
Just to fill in Ram, Ranger was mostly doing GMK kind of counters where Mace, albeit we've wonderful.
I wanted to see him die anyway.
He got annihilated
yeah,
by
I just wanted to see him die. Yeah.
So yeah,
I sent him in on purpose
yeah.
Yeah, it's like, all right, let me do JMK Mirror. Oh, darn, the new Mace still dies.
Yeah, the rework Mace was still terrible and still ended up out the window. Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, our level of knowledge of the long-term kit, sketchy.
So I mean that is something I'm interested about.
I don't know for sure on that. I'll have to go look at it again, Ram. It's not registered.
Yeah, let me know because I'm interested to see if that's like a potency check. If I'm going to need to load them up on potency, or if that's just
my initial thought is say no, but let me get back to you on that one because I didn't even think of again.
The other thing is I think there's going to be a bit of a weird interaction. Thinking about it now, based on his kit reveal, there's going to be a bit of a weird interaction if anybody was for whatever reason to run him with Watt, right? Because Watt is obviously going to put the tank tech on him as a tank, and he's going to put taunt up
Right.
whenever he has protection. However, Mace is unique, dispels taunt, and puts up 2 stacks of resilient defense. So is he just going to continually have all that resilient defense? And so he's basically a taunting tank without the taunt, but he's going to always have 8 stacks of resilient defense, essentially, because he's going to keep dispelling that taunt?
I think so, but
If so, that's pretty amazing right there.
I'm trying to remember the interaction with Watt.
I wonder if that was intentional.
Could be, yeah.
Because that
I'm trying to
sounds
remember.
like something that could, like, I don't know.
I don't remember if I tested with Watt. I wasn't even trying to. You know,
Mace is just going to slap at that point. 80%
I think-
offense increased and 100%
I don't think I
power
looked
chance.
at. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't think I ever tried anything with Watt with Mace. It was mainly the
But
main teams and components. I was going against other main teams and components with it. So
Is
Just
that
what
not
we
the same
thought.
interaction as GMK? You know,
Right.
the GMK lead is going to do the same thing. So you were testing GMK.
yeah,
under
but it's
GMK.
Watt.
You-
I'm just thinking, well, how does Watt affect it too?
You
It's
didn't,
like
you
So
didn't
does that have the
notice
same?
Mace.
Does that have the same effect under JMK's? Obviously, he's
I
just
don't know.
gonna
I didn't
dispel his
look
taunt
at
and put
Watt
the-
hard on that. I mean, as I said, I mean, would that?
Wait, when you were
I'll
testing
get back to you on this. Christ in heaven, Jesus!
Didn't
It's too
have
early
a-
in the morning.
Yeah. I don't think we had I don't know. But,
With the
but yeah.
JMK, you said you tested him under JMK, and obviously with JMK, he's going to keep dispelling that taunt and putting up the resilient defense, right?
As far as
But
yeah,
he
but
wa-
that's
he
not what
wasn't
you
paying
asked me,
attention to
man.
that.
But
wasn't
you
paying
said
attention. I asked
Watt,
you
man.
about Watt,
God damn it! All right, I'll get back to you in this.
You
I'm
don't,
not
but
doing
the
it.
battle-
God damn.
Yeah.
Well, in
don't
essence,
know.
it'd do the same thing, but yeah, Ranger wasn't paying attention to what was going on with the resilient
I
defense.
just don't care. Yeah.
He was just
God
there for
dang it.
Just
sacrificial.
grab me in Discord and do a testing session.
No, I will
I'm
not,
joking,
sir.
I'm joking.
Is now to see if this rework is going to bring to light any new non-GL counters.
Yeah.
I'm curious,
I-
especially
I didn't
if you're
find
maybe
anything-
you're
yeah.
utilizing. But if you're utilizing Watt in there,
I didn't
depending
think.
on the lineup, I don't
Watt,
know.
Watt can throw things off. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I think Watt's going to throw a wrench in this, as Watt does.
Well, so would you think this would happen under like a Padme lead, or like it's not going to happen under Qui-Gon or the Omi or anything because Watt will throw that off. It would have to be Padme almost.
To
If I
be
do it-
determined.
If I counter GMK with just a Padme lead, then Cat can annihilate Mace instead of GK, and then we're off to the races.
Well, someone brought it up
Um,
earlier. You go 2 tanks into the mirror match instead of Padme, which I was like,
Well, the
no.
question would then be which one does the AI go after?
Right, you're
Does
still
it go
gonna-
after
someone's-
Mace or does it go after GK?
Yeah.
RNG.
Yeah, there's usually an AI. Like there's usually, Cat usually goes for somebody. It's usually not random.
I don't know.
There's too many,
Oh,
too many
come on, I gotta-
questions right
Yeah.
now. Y'all killing me
Find
right
Find out
now.
next week.
It's 8:00 on a Saturday.
Yeah. I'll get back to you on that crap. Dang, I'm like, okay, I guess I know. I ain't doing it today. We're gonna do
I
GSC
think
here.
we're all looking forward to the official, like, kind of, the official writing, the official launch.
So
Starting to
you-
see it next week.
So you want? Write this down. I hate you.
This is what I'm here for.
No, you're not. Mace,
You've done
Watt,
this yourself.
and then
Mace
what
Watt
was
interaction, and then
And
obviously
GMK
the,
lead, Mace interaction.
specifically
that
the
kinda comes hand in
stats with
hand.
that? Okay,
that's kind of
and you're looking for the certain
anybody that's going to
components.
put taunt on him, that's going to force taunt on him, is obviously going to dispel that taunt immediately and then put resilient defense, which is essentially a taunt anyways.
And CMY is asked an important one as well about if he's damage immune, therefore he's not being damaged, will he lose the taunt? And what happens there?
I'll
there's
get the
that
details on
interaction
this
as well.
interaction for sure.
Yeah.
And then the other one is obviously the potency check for the shatter point mechanic. If that's a potency check,
I
or
don't
if that's
know if I'm
under
going to be
as
able
well.
to fund that. I mean, I don't. I'll look,
Okay.
but I mean, that's a little bit more of their stuff side than my side, right?
Okay.
My main thing is
Oh,
my
man,
test
it's
is go in
thing.
there and
Grandma?
get in there,
buddy.
test it, see how it works
How you-
against
how you
other
doing?
stuff. I'm not looking at the minutia of things because I'm just trying to see if these teams work and these characters work like they're supposed to. So, you get into this detail crap. Now I have to go do extra stuff. How do I get paid for this? Why am I helping Ram? God damn, I changed my mind. I don't want to do this anymore.
How you doing, Ram?
I've been taking the last cage of emotion.
Oh yeah. How's your mod farming coming along, man?
It's coming. Double drops are coming, and that's going to significantly help me. It's going to significantly help. I've got so much farming I got to do on double drops.
Nice.
Double drops start on Monday, I believe.
The shiny new mace with, man.
Oh yeah, I've got some modding. To do on him. I think I'm looking at like an offense set with health primaries right now.
Offense set, but he does damage based on his health percentage.
On his basic, but you still want his special offense, to be through the roof. So
but he counters though, as long as he has the counter of the stacks of resilience, he counters.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. Health primaries. That's what I'm saying. Health primaries with an offense set.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, it's a big work in progress. It's something a lot of people kind of have to look into.
Well, I tried. I tried both sets. I tried a few sets with health primaries and offense stacking kind of thing. I kind of treated it like I do my Fennec. I think I went in testing. I did. You bet your ass.
Oh, interesting. That's a new concept.
I do it all the time. Shut up. I am too tired and cranky to be put up with your nonsense already, you son of... This fool last night in the middle of the night, like, hey, let's do GAC. I'm like, I guess I'm already...
It was at the middle of the night. I told you early on, and then you never replied to me. So
I was a little busy last night there, Thane. Good grief.
Yeah, you know what, Power Ranger? I excuse you for last night, okay? You're excused.
Thank you.
See, don't complain when I have to like magically disappear in the middle of GAC to go to work.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Anyways, so Rambam, you know what I was thinking? I was actually thinking about putting Mace underneath Ray, because he'll also get the a lot of those stacking benefits under her, and she'll make him under indestructible. Oh, and to answer your question about what, so it wouldn't be like an infinite loop, kind of like JMK, because JMK straight up says like, oh, they regain it as soon as they lose it. What it specifically says at the beginning of their turn, so he'll only get like one stack per turn. So it's not like
he'll get two stacks because he dispels taunt and then gains two.
Okay,
stacks,
well, whatever it is, yeah, 2 stacks, but
so he'll gain 2 stacks every.
Yeah, every turn. So it's limited to the turn. It wouldn't be like it's like he constantly has max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, constantly having stacks essentially is still. I mean.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
Unless they do a mass assist, that's when they'll get rid of the stacks.
For this kind of minutia, man.
Yeah, no, one of the things I was thinking about was putting out Ray Mace with Cat and the Purse Brothers, because that's gonna be a nasty combo right
you're. Oh, that's not. Yeah. Oh man.
Can you imagine that on defense? Like, that'll be fun.
I'm thinking even without the Purse Brothers, you put
go R2 and make them really
without Purse Brothers.
Cat,
you take out Cat, you put R2 in there. Stat shares. Ooh.
Yeah, R2. That's a good one.
That could be nasty.
No, with the number crunch, absolutely, man. I had some fun with that.
That could be nasty.
I said there's a lot of places. There's a lot of places. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places I did as much as I could, but I mean, I nowhere near what I'm sure you monsters are going to do when you get your hands on it. So I'm going to be like, why didn't you see this? Because I didn't test every damn possibility out there. Leave me alone. All right. I'm infamous for a reason. All right, well, we're going to go do some GAC. Perfect time. I know it's time for GAC when the old thing Kyrellus shows up. So what we're going to do is let these awesome, amazing people, they can join us for GAC if they want. If not, we allow them, we're going to let... I keep saying that. I can't talk today. We're going to let them pimp their stuff, so you can please go check out their stuff, guys. They come here on a Saturday morning to answer your questions and to interact with you guys. The easiest way to say thank you is just to go check out their channels. Give them some love, give them some interactions, thumbs up, whatever you want to do. That's a great way to show your appreciation for these awesome folks being here and doing what they do. And it's very much appreciated from me. And if you want to show your appreciation, please go look at their stuff and help them out. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, we have 2 BCMs. They threw me off there for a second.
Yeah, my Zoom is acting weird.
All right.
Now there are two of
now
them.
there are two of them. Chris, real quick before I let everybody pimp, last question. Why were there crickets with what the number one SWGOH streamer came up? Any thoughts? Well, I responded. I mean, my response is, what's ever going on between Arnold and CG is between Arnold and CG. I just don't, it's none of my business. They want to respond to it, they can. If Arnold wants to respond to it, he can. That's between them. I mean, getting my thoughts in their relationship at this point, I have no interest. I think that he's awesome. I love Arnold, and his content is. I mean, you cannot deny how great he is. But there's stuff there that I don't know about, and I'm not going to comment on it because it's not my place. That's for them. That's them.
I thought you handled it very well, and I watched Arnold's video of the rework, and I obviously watched the Heinze side of it. I saw. On Arnold's video, he talked about crickets. When I watched the live stream, I didn't feel there were crickets. I thought it was actually quite a noisy chat. In fact, I'd almost say the opposite. It was like, I mean, yeah, Ranger, you answered the question when you didn't need to. You could have just ignored it and actually just moved on because it was right, I think, before they announced the rework, if I remember.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I didn't think there were crickets. I think, Ranger, you handled it very well. I don't think, as other content creators, it's not us. I don't know. It's not between us.
I mean.
Yeah. I don't think there wasn't this awkward 30-second silence where everybody sat there.
No, we get this question a lot because Arnold's got a lot of fans. It's undeniable, right?
Yeah.
And they want to know. And people want to know, and I understand, but it is, in my opinion, it's improper for me to say anything about it because it's just purely speculation at that point. I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know all the details, and I don't really push for it. It is none of my business what it goes on between Arnold and CG. Do I wish the relationship was different? Yeah, of course we do. I mean, we want all the content creators to kumbaya and be happy with the game and having communications and stuff. And I don't even know what communications that they're having. So you want to know how Arnold feels about CG? Ask them. If you want to ask what CG feels about Arnold, you can ask them. And if they want to respond, they can. If they don't want to respond, then they don't have to respond either. So, and what are your thoughts about Doge saying that he pays others to do his mods, will not do anything again to fix mod management? I don't have any problem with that. I remod people's stuff all the time, so he's a gamer there. Mod management, they keep pushing back on that, saying that I think they're two separate things, right? The mod management is a different thing than Doge saying he pays someone to do his mods. Great. So I do it all the time for people. It's no different.
Most people do.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't pay me, but I redid RAMs. I did BCMs. I've done that before. So that's not the big thing. The mod management, I disagree with CG's stance on this. I just think if you give us more space for mods, we're just going to max out to 1,000 mods. Like, say, they gave us 500 more slots, right? They're kind of what they're thinking, and it's not canon, but that we would just get in the same position again. We would need more mod space. We would just hoard more mods and stuff. My pushback is, but it's a resource management game. The more slots the more stuff that we can have some wiggle room, right? But I kind of see from their point, like, why put it in? Does it really help? They're still on the fence on it, so we'll wait to see. But I don't know. Anybody on the panel think Doja getting remodded is a bad thing?
I would have slapped Doja around the head when he came back in.
No, don't do that.
Don't say that. Even if you do, don't say that.
He was being cheeky last night, Mad Dog.
Well, I think the problem, and we talked about it very much at the start of the stream, last night's stream was more of a party. Heinze does a very party stream, a very noisy stream. There's a lot of things going on. I wouldn't take it I think it's terrible to take things from that out of context and say, he said this, there was a lot of kind of back and forth, people like pineapple on pizza, which got established. So I don't think we should take what was coming out of that stream as being a gospel corporate answer from Doja. But I would still have slapped Doja around the head. I think he shouldn't be saying he pays other people, even though he does, and I do, and everybody else does. But I think, I'd prefer he hadn't said that, but I don't think it really matters. It's I also like the way that Doja is a human being, and not a robot and not corporate. Doja does drop into many servers, many chats. He does make himself visible, which is his job, and I think he does it very well.
Him and Crom, yeah.
Yeah, and I think everyone's going to make mistakes. Well, no, it wasn't a mistake to say that. Everyone's going to say something that later on in the cold light of day they go, should I have said that? Oh no, but no, I thought last night was perfect. It was a great celebration, and I think the community should be very proud of Ram Bam. Oh my God, what
I know.
Somebody clip it.
I
No,
know,
we're not on
God.
Twitch. Never mind. No, it's not unknown that CG works with outside entities like I don't know, Hot Sauce, Pimpo, to name a couple right there. Like it's not unknown. These are very well known facts. That they work with them in some capacity, maybe not an official capacity, but
you don't deny their existence. Put it that way. It's not like God, these don't exist.
I don't have a problem with him saying, because to me that makes him relatable. To me that makes him not just seem like a robot and be like, you know what, CG's official answer is we do not endorse. Blah, 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 blah. No, he's a gamer just like us. He wants to enjoy the game just like us, and sometimes, to be real, there are people outside the game that do a better job of making the game more enjoyable, like, for instance, Hot Sauce, right? Hot Sauce's hot utils are fucking amazing, and they provide so much of an increase to the game's experience. So,
and I think
it makes it more relatable.
He did it on a party channel, a celebration stream, not an official EA.
It wasn't like a forum post.
Yeah, it wasn't a forum post. It wasn't a, and it's, I think, it's fine. It's fine. But I was still slapped him around the head.
All right. You just want to slap Doja in the head, but don't, because we like his hair the way it is. All right. Now get out of here.
That rogue streak was awesome.
Yeah, it's
I like
dope,
that rogue
man.
streak.
Yeah. And Crumb's here last night, man. Crumb had that nice new dude, man. He was looking sharp, man. Crumb looked sharp
Crumb
last
was chilling
night.
on that yacht.
Yeah, he was. All right, Aldous, where can folks check you out, my friend?
Right, sorry. Welcome to Sandflies on Twitch. Still the only channel on Twitch to have welcome to in the start. It's just literally welcomes you in. Welcome to Sandflies. I've already done my GSE. I always do it in the morning about 7-8 hours ago.
Okay.
Drop in if you can. But much love. Thank you.
Come hang out. Kate, the lovely Kate Gaming. Where can folks check you out at?
Twitch, Kate Gaming, the underscore at the end.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget the underscore.
My GAC at some point today.
We'll knock it
Probably
out.
Not too late because I have stuff I gotta go get done.
That's right. So don't worry, I'm going to try to knock mine out as quickly as possible so you can go.
But during yours, I'll probably eat lunch.
You did last time. It worked out beautifully. Yeah, you can eat a sandwich and all that other good stuff. BCM says he's having problems with Zoom. Okay. Well, I will pin his stuff. You can find Big Country Mags on Twitch, and please check him out. He does his GACs over there. So if you can, please go find Big Country Mags. I think that's what it is, Big Country Mags on Twitch, one word, and you can go check it out. If not, I'm sure he'll. And there you guys. You put it in the chat. Well done, sir. Good job. Ram Bam, where can folks check you out at, my friend?
I'm on Twitch, and soon to be making my grand reappearance on YouTube. By posting so many videos of this Mace stuff. It finally happened. You made Mace great again. So Twitch and YouTube, mention anything about Mace, and I'm sure to appear.
Well, great is TBD because Ranger says he's not that good.
I suck.
Well, that's just a tester error. That's not a Mace error.
I suck at everything. I don't know why I play when people watch me in this game.
I'm still on like cloud 69 right now. All right. So.
Yeah, it was hard because I've known, Ram, I was saying this earlier. I've known this for a while that you're going to Mace Rework. So I have been doing everything. Even last night, you notice I was acting a certain way, trying to deflect and to keep your mind completely off in left field. So when that Mace Rework came, bam, because all those times
the reaction was genuine.
Yes, it was all worth it because all of these months that I've been saying I am going to make sure you never get a Mace Rework and all that stuff. I knew better, man, but I had to keep doing it so you would just be like, yeah.
So, how long have you known that there was going to be a Mace Rework? Has it been months?
I'm not going to tell you now.
Oh man.
It was a plethora.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's fair.
Yes. Okay. A cornucopia of time.
All
right, we're gonna go do my
Our worst fears
GSC.
have been realized.
Yeah, these wonderful content creators are allowed to. I can't. Why do I keep saying that word? What is wrong with me, man? I need more coffee or caffeine or.
Allowed?
Allowed. What is wrong with me? Why do I keep saying that stupid ass word? I'm not allowing a damn thing. Good Lord. These awesome content creators are going to, if they would like, are welcome to hang out. We're going to go to our GAC, which we're going to go to right now. So we're going to go over to Twitch, give us a few minutes, get everything set up, and then we'll start over on Twitch. The Twitch is linked in the description of the video. We're going to come watch some GAC and have fun. We have fun with GAC. Thane, you ready for some GAC there? You ready for the Thunderdome there, GAC Whisper?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so with that, we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on the Jedi Academy. Very much appreciate all you guys. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for everything. It really means a lot. And with that, we're going to go do some GAC. And then once I get done with my GAC, you can go jump to all these other great channels. Well, not all this. He already did his. But you can still go watch his channel, of course. But we'll let everybody else go to their channels and go do their GACs and have some fun. And then I'm going to be in a coma for the next 2 days because I've had no sleep. And the Behind You stream always probably why I keep saying allow because my brain's not working for being on the Behind You stream last night. God, I'm still in the days like,
Your excuse, Ranger.
Yeah, I know. So with that, let's get ready for that. We will see you there. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all the good stuff. Check out these other content creators. And if we don't see you soon, we'll see you when we see you. Salute.